Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyrone Milade, your Goddess Guru, your sister friend. And you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess centered lifestyle. And it's nothing like using the ancient science called astrology to help us modern day gals, navigate each week. So I want to talk about that in today's video. How are you doing? This is a recorded video. I'll be back on Wednesday. It's been a rough couple of okay, not rough, somewhat busy last couple of weeks. So I'm coming back live this week. This is gonna be the 17th of April. So I look forward to connecting with you all. But I did just want to make a video to talk about the astrology and do a reading. If you are new to my channel, again, I am a life coach, a spiritual guide, spiritual coach, and I love all things divination. That's my superpower, doing readings for people, either using my oracles or using astrology. But for me, it's more than just using or giving someone a reading. It's all about how do we apply the reading and have, real life results. How do we grow? How do we heal? How do we evolve using these ancient spiritual sciences? And I'm all things goddess, baby. All right. It's all about feminine energy, feminine power, and acknowledging the divine feminine. So those are the things that I like to focus here. If you are one of those gals, this channel is for you. So my let me pull up my screen. And while I do that, you'll see at the bottom of the video a ticker tape that is letting you all know I do have an upcoming circle coming, an upcoming circle. It is the Taurus New Moon Retreat, May 2nd. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And you will see the information in the description box. Yeah, we're gonna be focusing on that powerful upcoming Taurus new moon. Wow. I looked at it, and preparing for today. Not that I'm going over that moon, but I had to look at that a little bit just because I was curious about where the full moon that's gonna be next week in Scorpio is kind of taking us. And there's a lot going on right now. I can't stop saying that we are in very different times or pivotal times. I can't move away from saying that. It is just so true. And this month and last month, this month, and then May 2024, the more I look at the astrology, the more I'm just wowed by it. And so I want to make sure that we understand the best path forward. And of course, some of that work we're going to do inside of the retreat. But let's look at the astrology and talk about what's happening over the next week. So I'm going from the 16th of April to the 23rd of April. And it's super interesting. I said this last week that we had an eclipse. We've had two eclipses. We had an eclipse in Libra in March, and then we have had one in Aries on the 8th. Wow. It has been crazy. One of the things that I mentioned in the video last week, looking at that new moon, or sometimes I get confused because I do make a lot of videos, but it was some video that I made. And one of the things I talked about with that new moon was hoping that we wouldn't see more war, but that Venus being there, I thought would play in our favor to help bring in more diplomacy or to stave off that warlike energy of Aries. And sure enough, the talk or what I saw on the news was Iran was sending drones to hit up Israel, and I think the United States blocked them or something like that. And then the United States is telling Israel, "You keep doing what you're doing with Iran, and we're not going to support you." So that's and I don't know what other countries are saying. I know it's not just the United States. I'm here in the United States, so I kind of focus on our government's response. But it's kind of like that diplomacy. and trying to de-escalate things or whatever. That's what Venus will do. Venus will be like, "Hey, let's not fight," So I really do like that. But just in hearing from individuals, there is a lot going on. It's like a spark has happened, and that's what an eclipse will do. That's what um, Mars, excuse me, Aries will do. That's what a new moon will do. So it's like this great big spark that is happening. And then of course we have Mercury still retrograde in Aries. And so my question to you is, how is that retrograde showing up for you? So let me just tell you something that I want you to think about. So Mercury retrograde is in Aries. And so in a way, it kind of helps us to understand certain topics that we will be focused on. So Aries, of course, is the body, is action. So it's kind of like we are maybe strategizing because Aries can be very strategizing. If I say Mars right now, I mean Aries because they're one and the same in my mind sometimes. But this energy of Aries can be a strategist because it's about athleticism. Oh, there's something that's really standing out to me. I'm not actually into sports, but in astrology, we have what is called the evolutionary chart, but the specific term is called the progress chart. And I call it an evolutionary chart. It shows how you have evolved, and so we have what is called the progressed moon, an evolutionary moon. And mine has been in Aries for the last 2.5 years. And I've just been into sports, women's sports in particular. And so I really have been enthralled with Fisk gymnastics. And it's very unique for an HBCU. I think they're the first one to have a gymnastics team. And so one of the young women won a championship that has never been won by an HBCU, of course. And then another woman a young woman from an HBCU won something that has never been won by an HBCU. So it's kind of like I saw a new team at Howard and who knows what else because everyone keeps up with different types of things when it comes to sports. Oh, we had, and I'm so sorry, I don't know names well. I should know this name, but the coach for South Carolina, she won. And it's just like all this stuff with sports. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one that is kind of just paying attention, but I've noticed that. So it's kind of like we're looking for all things Aries, sports and anything to do with war, the military. Aries is the body, health, well-being, fitness, especially, and exercise. Those are topics that we can be thinking about. But Mercury also signifies all things Gemini. So again, I'm talking about Mercury retrograde because we so many times in the spiritual space, we look at, oh, Mercury retrograde started on this day, Mercury retrograde ends on this day, but we don't actually really keep up with what's going on in between so that we can maximize it. So I want all of you, if you aren't already doing that, because I know a lot of y'all already know, you got to take it deeper and you got to keep up with the astrology. Um, so I want you to take it deeper. So what else can we think about? Well, we can think about Gemini because Mercury is the planet that rules Gemini. So it could be we are redoing and rethinking actions that we need to take because that's Aries, but actions we need to take about what? It could be about our mind. It could be about groups that we're in, small groups, cousins, siblings, friends, neighbors. There may be something that we have to revisit regarding those relationships because Gemini is a relationship sign. Gemini is also about the mind, like I said, mental health, the thoughts. It could be, oh, I forgot I was supposed to be using these affirmations, and now I'm going to return to these affirmations. So, this is another way you can take Mercury retrograde deeper. I want you to really be looking for what are you revisiting right now? Okay. So, Mercury also has to do with social media and networking, business, those kinds of things. also. Gemini can also be related to lifestyle, which is also what Mercury rules Virgo. And Virgo has to do with lifestyle, day to day operations. So some of us may be, revisiting those topics also. So I want you to be looking at that health and wellness, which Virgo and Aries combined. This is definitely something where people could be looking at what's going on with their health and their well being. Um, and then let me see here what else. Virgo is also work and it's about systems and it's about to-do lists. So maybe there's a to-do list that you, you put together, but you never did finish that to-do list. So that could be something that's coming up with this Mercury retrograde. So I really want y'all to consider that as we continue to navigate this Mercury retrograde. The other thing I want you to think about with the Mercury retrograde is that um let's see here. Mercury is doing what is called conjuncting. Where's Chiron? Oh, this is let me pull up today. That's for the full moon. Mercury yesterday on the 15th conjuncted Chiron. And so hold one second. Is it not coming? So Mercury conjuncted what is called Chiron, which is the wounded healer. This is the second time this has happened. Before it was Mercury, Chiron, and the North Node all there together. So it was kind of like a healing that maybe it was something we thought we had already healed or something around healing. It's like a wound that you got, and it's the kind of wound that it almost makes you feel like you're fatally flawed. Something like that could have come up also. So we have, and y'all know I can't stand the ads. We have Mercury conjunct Chiron right now. So definitely there's something about a healing or return to a healing, or we get so healed up, we're able to use that healing to help other people. So that's something else that I want you all to think about. And the reason this is so important is typically most every planet Mercury touches, it just flies on past them. But when Mercury is retrograde, that means there's an opportunity for some of these planets, or this is actually an asteroid, to get 3 times it'll be involved, right? And so Chiron is one of those. This is a deeply healing time. So is there something about healing that you need to be addressing? And again, it is probably something that is a little bit long term. You've dealt with this for a while, and maybe you got to heal up some more, or maybe it's like you're getting some ideas on how do you channel this gift of healing from this wound that you had to the world. That's all just Mercury retrograde that I just touched on. Okay, let's keep moving. So we don't have a lot going on until we get to the 19th. So we have to remember there's it's like astrology doesn't happen in one day. There's a a string of days together, okay? So even starting tomorrow, the 17th, this astrology is starting to kick in. First and foremost, I just want to skip over here to the 20th. Jupiter conjunct Uranus. We're already in that right now. Jupiter is very, very close to Uranus. So Jupiter is at 20 degrees. That's pretty much a conjunction. Okay. It's called applying for those who know astrology. It's an applying conjunction. We're in this thing. Mercury conjunct Uranus. What's happening that it's like all of a sudden, you know, something unexpected is coming up, and it could be something that's really big. Y'all know I've told y'all it could be something that you really love, or it could be something that feels very challenging. It's happening in Taurus, so the closer Jupiter gets to being full on the same degree as Uranus, which is that 21st degree, then the more we might see things happening, natural occurrences happening in nature that are, could be thunder, lightning, earthquakes, those kinds of things. But it is this energy of abundance and up level, and it's kind of like, you know, I don't want to say new age, but it's kind of like futuristic. We'll be seeing things that it's like, for instance, the ability to have a phone and talk to somebody and be able to see them. When I was a girl, that was unheard of. That was just something that we saw on TV, the Jetsons or Star Trek or something like that. That was not anything that I ever actually believed would come true. It was out in the future, it was futuristic, and it almost seemed unreal. So those are the kinds of things that could be coming up. I really do hope that earth activism takes off. I really do. But I do think it's something about technology and uh oh, oh, food. It could have something to do with food, those kinds of things. I want y'all to just keep your eyes open. I want you, but definitely money and banking. I really have never believed that crypto was going to be all that. I just haven't believed it because how many years has it been? 10 or so at least. Everybody was talking about crypto. And there was a point when people really did make money off of crypto, but it hasn't taken over like I thought it would. So but with this conjunction, it makes me think something new in currency. I believe that could happen with this one. So all those kinds of things, we're feeling that happening now, and it could be unnerving. Some of us could feel like mm, anxious, and I don't know if edgy is the word. It could be edgy because we have a lot going on in Aries. But definitely it's like this energy, this like electrical energy, right? So it's a lot of energy happening this week. So don't be surprised. Some of us may have trouble sleeping. Oh, definitely something with the internet is going to happen because Uranus is the internet. Something about, getting a message out. Taurus is a feminine sign. So, maybe we will have something really take off for women when it comes to the internet. Okay, and so we're getting ready to move even more into all things Taurus because we're going to have the sun move into Taurus on May 19th. Happy birthday to all of the Tauruses out there, and happy new year to all of the Taurus moons, ascendant, suns. Happy new year. It is your time. Enjoy. And yeah, so we're gonna kick off the themes of Taurus, but they're gonna be ultra heightened because of that Jupiter conjunction in Uranus. Now we have hot and fiery Jupiter, we have big electrical Uranus, and now we got the fiery sun moving in the Taurus. Baby, let's be about our coins. All right. Let us be about our coins. Okay. So Mercury is going to conjunct Venus. So that's a new beginning. This is a new beginning. So we're still in this energy of new beginnings because even Mars and Saturn, I'm sorry, they've already, that ship has sailed. That was last week. Okay. But yeah, Mercury and Venus conjuncting. This does happen, I think about once or twice every year at least. It's not odd to see Venus and Mercury conjunct. And so they're going to conjunct in Aries. So again, that's bringing in all the topics that we talked about earlier with this Mercury retrograde. And I want to just say Venus has to do with self-worth, value, and appearance. So those are themes that I think can come up, but it's really about the individual, you. And it's an opportunity maybe to get some new ideas around a new beginning that you want to that you are going to be continuing or that you're going to start soon. And Venus is all about manifestation. So she can really help you manifest. or bring in that energy of manifestation that Mercury is like getting that clarity around what Mercury is helping us get that clarity around. Venus can help us to manifest. And then we have Mars sextiling Jupiter and then sextiling Uranus right there together. So that's more fiery energy. Even though Mars right now is in Pisces, Mars is going to be Mars. Mars is going to do what Mars going to do. Okay. So it's like a lot of feminine energy mixed up with this masculine energy. And it just makes me feel like there's action in a feminine way, or action on feminine things will be coming up. Action guided by intuition. I think that that's something else that will be pretty amazing. But it's definitely this energy of you feel supported in taking this action. You know, you feel supported. There's some opportunities that come through, but you have to take action around it. Um, that will help you to get to an up level, that will help you to grow, that will help you to expand, because that's Jupiter and Uranus. And it definitely can help with abundance, abundance consciousness, prosperity, health, well-being, and a lot of it could have to do with your material possessions. It's like a whole new approach to material possessions. I kind of think that it might be what I thought earlier, and I didn't say this, is storage companies may really begin to take off. So if anyone owns a storage company, let me know. Is your storage company really taking off right now? Because that is one of, I noticed when Uranus went into, was it Uranus? I don't know if it was Uranus, but I find storage companies and how many we have in my city to be completely fascinating. I'm like, Taurus got a hold on us. Oh, you want me to tell you, besides storage companies, libraries, because Taurus is libraries. I have been meaning to say, I really do think that there's going to be something revolutionary that happens around libraries. There's this one librarian I keep up with, Michael, I think is how he says his name. And I don't know, he's like making librarians super cool, right? Something is gonna be happening with libraries, which makes me very happy because I love the libraries, so, yeah, that makes me excited. And with Mercury and Venus conjuncting, Mercury actually could potentially have to do with books because Mercury is writing the books, right? So, a lot of energy this week. Now, kinda leading up to it, the 17th, 18th, it kind of feels like we've been in no man's land, but around the 17th, 18th, I think energy will start rising again, and so, yeah. Now, the 21st, the sun will square Pluto, and again, a square is about action, but it's action that you take via frustration. You might feel pushed to take this action. Pluto is about empowerment, so it could be something around, needing to uh, take our power, stand in our power. It could be some bumping of heads with someone, and it's like, no, I'm standing in my power. I'm gonna go on ahead and be who I said I am, and I'm just not gonna do anything other than that, because the sun is who you are uniquely, authentically you. And so that's bumping up against this Pluto. So yeah, wow. Now, the reason I think this is also important is we could see something in the news, especially when it comes to governments. I mean, Pluto is actually a generational sign. It's not meant to be a personal planet, I should say, not a sign. And it's in Aquarius, which has to do with society. So I think something is going to be sparked this week that is about even more. Like, when are there not protests? So, even more in terms of protest, um, the people saying we're going to take our power back into our hands. And, it could be, protesting a government, protesting a corporation. But yeah, I think that that's something that we will definitely see. Now, Pluto is about transformation. So it could be we are feeling this energy of like, yes, this transformation is happening. I need to keep going with this transformation or some big change that's happening. And so the sun meeting with Pluto right before the full moon in Scorpio. And I think it's interesting that this full moon actually does square Pluto. So this is going to be, it could be a little bit of a rough full moon, and I'm actually gonna do a whole hopefully, I'll go live, but if I don't go live, I'll make a recording to go through all of the signs for this full moon. But, um, yeah, this full moon is one where a change is required, or to get highlighted, like, this is the change you need to make. Or it could be highlighting it's been some transformation you've been in the midst of. It hasn't been easy, but you're gonna see how far you've come in your transformation with this moon. And a Scorpio moon is always about purging, releasing, letting go. Also, so it's either going to show you something you've accomplished or you've evolved in some way, or it's going to show you what you need to accomplish, what you need to, how you need to evolve. And some of it might be it's through change, it's through transformation. And the last little bit that I'll say is the number one word I would give to you for this moon is surrender. Surrender. So, yeah. Wow. This is a man, it's a powerful moon, y'all. It's a real powerful moon. Um, yeah, I guess the universe was like, I'm gonna give them a little bit of a break until we get to, or actually, I don't feel like we've had a break this year. I'm gonna be 100. I think the universe was like, you know what? My kids taught me this word years ago. We're just getting ready to send it. March, April, May 2024. Press the send it button, baby. It is time to go. Okay, so this week I'm going to pull from the Moon Magic deck, pulling from my Moon Magic deck. Okay, I pulled the Waxing Gibbous Moon card. And it's interesting because we're actually in the waxing moon phase leading up to this full moon. So, wow. And one of those phases is the waxing gibbous moon. So, I love this for us. I'm excited. It says the waxing gibbous moon keywords are windfall, success, and preparation. And it says this is another lovely card that suggests things are coming to a head and all your efforts are soon to be rewarded. It foretells good things coming your way and could indicate a windfall, a surprise, a chance encounter, and so on. So that would be the Jupiter Uranus conjunction in Taurus that I've been talking about. Okay. It is a card of abundance and plenty, meaning that the energies of growth are surrounding you now. Don't go overboard in celebrations or spending, though, as this could upset the delicate balance of energies. Instead, keep a check on your spending habits and make sure that you are saving for a rainy day. I do love that. This can definitely help us up level in terms of personal finances. So it's easy at this time to become overly self indulgent. Enjoy a period of abundance without being reckless or becoming a spendthrift. Enjoy the success you've already achieved. Let's do that at this full moon, sisters. But make sure that you are lining your nest at the same time in preparation for leaner periods. Be a good steward of all that you already have so that you always have enough, regardless of outside influences such as the economy. In times of feast, prepare for famine. That is the overall message of this card. So, wow, wow, wow. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm wishing you all a wonderful, wonderful next week. I will see you on Wednesday morning. And yeah, whoo, happy April 16th through the 23rd. Peace and love. Oh, also, if y'all would please like the video, share the video. It helps the health of the channel. And it also helps make sure this video gets out to everyone who will benefit from it. So come on, let's be a part of the goddess movement. All right. Take care, Queen. Thank you. Bye. Peace and love, sisters.